Welcome to the Women's Hoop Show. Week 2 of the WNBA season brought the drama, from clutch comebacks to historic milestones, and we're breaking it all down here. And to join me in breaking it all down, as always, is my co-host Sheryl Swoops, and we have a packed show ahead. We'll dive into what's going on in Las Vegas. A lot of question marks there. Also, Chicago's slow start. Are we concerned? Yes, I am. And we'll also talk a little bit about the power rankings and how that fares so far. Plus, Kelsey Plum is on a tear in Los Angeles, posting career best numbers and reminding the Aces what they lost. Oh, there's a little T there. Nneka Ogwumike climbs the all-time scoring list in dominant fashion. Meanwhile, the rookies continue to shine. Washington, what is going on in Washington? Their duo of Sonia, Citron, and Kiki Iriafen are leading the Rookie of the Year conversation, and we'll spotlight them and more in our Rookie Watch segment. All that, plus some under-the-radar storylines you may have missed, and of course, we're sending flowers presented by Cash App to the players and teams that made the biggest impact this week. I told you, there's so much to talk about. And just a reminder, we want to hear from you. Don't forget to shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com. Okay, that's enough of me. Let's get into the show. Sheryl.
What's up, Jordan?
Hi. How was your weekend?
Amazing.
A lot to talk about, but that's why we're recording this on a Tuesday, because we took a full weekend, as we deserve to.
I don't even know if just taking a weekend was enough. I think I need a whole week to deal with all the things that's going on WNBA. But it's
a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
And I can't decide if I'm like happy right now with all the things, or if I'm a little confused with all the things, or maybe both. I don't know. There's a lot going on right now.
You know, someone said this is only week 2, but it feels like month 2. All right. Like, it feels like we've been in the season for a really long time. And I don't know if that's because this season we had the preseason games. You know, it felt like we had more games than just these week 2 games. So I feel you. We're in for the long haul here.
Yeah, it's going to be a long season. A long season. Buckle up. Let's go.
Buckle up. Well, you know whose season it already feels a little long for is the Las Vegas Aces. Here's the thing. And I don't know if I'm just being a little too critical, but I feel like when we were texting on what we wanted to talk about, you said, that was the first thing you said, what's going on in Vegas? And Autumn separately texted me and said, what in the world is going on with the Las Vegas Aces? So we had to talk about this today because I think a lot of people are wondering what's going on. And that was specifically in response to their recent blowout loss against Seattle, 102-82. They took the L. And I was just scratching my head watching that game. Like, what is it exactly do you see? Is there something missing? Is there something lacking? What do you see that the Aces need to figure it out?
Yeah, you just said so much in that one statement, that question.
I know, right?
You know the old saying, all good things come to an end. I'm not saying that's the Aces. And yes, it's early on. And I know people out there are like, don't panic yet. It's early. True facts, it is early. But it's something going on with this Aces squad that I'm a little confused. You said what's missing. Kelsey Plum is missing for one, but I will not go there. Listen, in all honesty. So I think a lot of people thought, right? Kelsey Plum leaving. Yeah, it's a big loss for Vegas, but you get Jewel Lloyd in return, right? So I think people, the numbers out there were like, it's all good. We're going to be fine losing Kelsey, but we're picking up Jewel. Jordan, when I watch the Aces play right now, I know it's early, but I watch the Aces play right now, and they seem so. Coach Chancellor used to use this word a lot. Discombobulated. They just, they just seem like. And I know it's a new. I know they got new pieces, but this is a veteran-led team. These are vets.
Yeah.
Like y'all
Yeah.
should be playing better than what they're playing, right? I can't put my finger on what it is. I will say this. A'ja Wilson should not be leading this team in every statistical category.
Every
Yes,
single one.
A'ja is a hell of a player. She's great. But A'ja Wilson shouldn't be leading in every statistical category. To me, that's the first problem, right? Who she can't even come out of the game. And as you look over the entirety of this season, that's not a good thing. Yes, A'ja is still her, but A'ja needs some help. And I know Jackie's averaging in double figures, Chelsea's averaging in double figures, but I don't know. Something just ain't clicking for this squad right now. And last thing I'm going to say, you know, you've seen it. Word on the street is what's up with Becky? Like, no, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I can't put my
that's
finger
fair
on it, but because they have the pieces, though. They still have the players.
And I think that's the confusing part. Like when you say confusing, I totally feel that because these are still the Olympians. And then it makes it realize like, okay, was Kelsey Plum, did we take her for granted? Like was she really that big of a piece cohesively for this unit to function? Or are they just trying to figure out how to function without her? And you know, we think about the Liberty game. You know, the Liberty are a very dominant team and the Aces lost to them. But then it was Washington that was beating them the whole game until the final 2 minutes that they decided to come back and Jewel hit a go-ahead 3. Then the Aces handled Connecticut. But then a Seattle game that I personally had circled on my calendar, Jewel Lloyd going back to Seattle. She scores the first 9 points, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, this is the redemption game. And then she finished with 14. You know, she scored 9 points in the first couple minutes. She finishes the game with 14. And Becky said it at the end of that game. She said, we were undisciplined. She said, quote, until the system is run correctly, it's hard to say plan A doesn't work, end quote. And I wish we knew what plan A was because then we could say like, okay, well, maybe these could be tweaked a little bit.
Maybe it's time to go to plan B.
Yeah, maybe it is time to go to plan B. But it was on the defensive end. It was on the offensive end. And they got to figure it out. But my whole thing, Sheryl, with Aces right now is for the past few seasons, teams feared them. You would walk into Las Vegas, and I remember I interviewed Nikki Fargas when she talked about her days at Tennessee. She said before we even stepped on the court, teams spotted us 10. Like that's just the aura that they had at Tennessee, right? Yeah. And I feel like that was the aura of the Aces. Now, you see how Seattle comes out and plays them. You see how Washington. Do people fear the Aces anymore?
No. Listen. People don't fear the Aces, but here's kind of sort of what I think as a former player, right? There are certain players that you just get up for a lot of reasons. Some selfish reasons, some like call it what it is. Like you got a lot of haters out there, right?
Yeah.
So as much as, all the hype around Asia in the A1s and her line, like there are players that are like, oh, she ain't all that. So my point being, so they're going to get up not so much to play the aces, but we're going up against Asia Wilson. So we have a point to prove. Another example, people have also said, right, like Chelsea Gray is the best point guard in the game today. So you have players, i.e., like a Skylar Diggins, who said Chelsea Gray ain't the best point guard in the league. Like, don't forget about me. You know what I mean?
I got
so for certain players on teams, other players and teams get up to play them. So no, there is honestly there is no like intimidation, no fear. People get excited to play the best, right? It's like we're playing the best, so we're going to bring our A game. And every team that the Aces have played so far, they've brought their A game. To your point, to me, I don't know if the Aces beat Connecticut or if Connecticut lost. I mean, not Connecticut, excuse me, Washington, or if Washington lost the game. Yes, I know Jewel Lloyd had to hit that 3 at the end, but for Washington, they're playing a lot of rookies and young players. So they were in a position of kind of sort of like, oh, we're doing something nobody expected us to do this year. And I kind of felt like the moment in a way was too big for Washington down the stretch, right? And so the veteran leadership came out for the Aces. But no, players are not afraid of this Aces team like they were last year, 2 years ago. At this point, like they're like, okay, we're ready for this. But I do know this. When I look at the roster for the Aces, and I've said this for a couple of years, and when you're winning games, people don't really tend to look at like your flaws or what you're missing because you're winning games.
Yes.
I need someone else on this Aces roster to score the basketball. Like I know Jackie's averaging 18 points a game. Chelsea's at 12. Jewel's at 12, I think. But who's doing what off the bench?
Yes.
Right? Like what are you bringing in off the bench? And I know we talk about Kelsey Plum, rightfully so, what she brought to the Aces. But another player for me that we're not really talking about, and it's not about her scoring, but Alicia Clark. Like Alicia Clark brought that veteran leadership, that calmness, that, coming in off the bench, being able to play whatever position you need her to play. And right now I'm trying to figure out who's doing what off the bench. Yeah.
It's so true. And I love how the commentators for the Seattle Storm said, the Aces have been beating Seattle these past couple years, and maybe it's just Alicia Clark. Like since she changed teams, now Seattle is gonna be beating the Aces. Last thing we'll say here before we move on, but it is that depth piece, and we have talked about it for seasons on how the Aces haven't really been that deep because you don't really need to when you have 4 Olympians in your starting 5. But continuously, they had the 6th player of the year. They had Alicia Clark. They had Dearica Hamby. Yep. So they've had success with one solid person coming off the bench. Now, when you look at the roster and they're losing, you start looking at, okay, where is the depth? Because when we look at the Liberty, when we look at the Fever, when we look at the other teams that are in that top tier, depth is kind of checked off. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for this next couple weeks even this week, they have the Sparks and then they have the Seattle Storm again. Is it going to be the same result? Are they going to get embarrassed by Kelsey Plum coming back and dropping a 40 piece on their head to be like, hey, listen, remember me?
it's very doable. To your point before we move on, right? Jewel Lloyd going back to Seattle, as much as they love Jewel in Seattle, as a player, you also got to know these players, they talk about this. Like, we're not about to let Jewel come back in here and make the fans or our organization feel like, damn, we let her get away. No, they're gonna be like, Jewel who? So yeah, Kelsey Plum playing the Aces.
Yeah.
You already know Kelsey Plum is coming in to prove a point. De'Erica Hamby, she's been gone for a couple of seasons now, but even De'Erica, they're like, oh no, we have something to
Together.
prove.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. Oh,
Absolutely.
man. Okay, well, that'll be a really great game. Going on to some other headlines or teams that we wanted to talk about. You mentioned it just a few minutes ago, but Washington, here's the thing. I feel like there are teams that you watch because maybe they're on prime time or they're on the ESPN matchup. But Washington, I feel like I have watched more Washington Mystics game than any other team. They are my league pass team. They are so fun to watch. They compete so hard. And you kind of don't know because it's been a lot of injuries. You don't know who's going to play. So you're like,
Yes.
oh, okay, Aaliyah Edwards is out there now. Shakira Austin is out there now. Like, they have so many different variations of being a solid team. And I know that they have gone through a little skid right now, but they have been in close games. And this is exactly what they were doing last season. Still, they have been so fun to watch. And I'm excited. When you text me, Sheryl, you said Washington with 2 exclamation points because I feel like that's how this Mystics team makes us feel. So how do you feel about watching Washington so far?
I'm like you. You know how you can go on League Pass and you pick, the team, you Storm or whatever your teams, when anytime there's news about them, you're going to get it. I did the same thing with Washington.
Yes.
And you know what I love about this team? You said it. They play hard. So far they've been in all the games. I like this team, Jordan, because they don't have a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't have, if you go ask the average fan, right, to name a player on each team, it's probably very easy for them to name at least one player on every WNBA team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they could do that with Washington. I'm talking about an average fan, not someone who,
no, I hear you,
loves the game, follows the W. I mean, I love everything about this team. They are just competing every play. It doesn't matter who's getting it done. Listen, when you're led by 2 rookies,
I know.
Well, Brittany Sykes, but she was out for a couple of games, right? But other than Brittany, you have Kiki and Sonia, who I said this, Jordan, on our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
The rookie of the year. I love me some Paige Bueckers, but the rookie of the year could very easily be between Kiki and Sonia, depending on the day. Depending on the day. I'm not saying that Paige isn't in the running, but I think coming into the season, everybody immediately, she's a number 1 pick for a reason, right? But I think everybody's like, oh yeah, Paige Bueckers will be rookie of the year. I think there are 2 rookies on this squad that got something to say about it. And I hate it because we could be saying 3 if Georgia Amore was playing.
I know. Doesn't that make you think, like, what would this team look like with Georgia Amore out there?
100%.
Oh my gosh.
And I want to give a shout out. I could give a shout out to every single player on this team, but I want to give a shout out to Shug Sutton.
Yes.
Because Shug Sutton has been in the W, out the W, on a team, off a team, on a roster, off a roster. What I love about Shug is she continues to work, be ready, stay ready. She's getting her moment now, and she is making the most of it. And I absolutely love this for her.
I love it for her as well. And when we talk about that game with the Aces, specifically, I was watching in awe because Brittany Sykes was not playing. Like, Aaliyah Edwards was not playing. Like, the stars, quote unquote, that probably would be the upper echelon weren't on the floor. and they were beating the Aces for 99% of that game. And that is because, and I have to say it, like, there have been 8 new head coaches in the W. And I think in the coming weeks, we're going to kind of do a check-in on these new coaches. But Sydney Johnson.
Ooh, girl, we could do that right now. But go ahead. Go ahead.
But I feel like Sydney Johnson is putting these players in their right spots. And I look at Kiki, and this is Stanford Kiki. This is not like USC Kiki. This is not USC Kiki.
Yeah.
But I was worried about her coming to the W. I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I don't know if she's ready. But she looks so confident. She's going up against AT. She's Alyssa Thomasing Alyssa Thomas. And I'm like, where is this rookie confidence coming from? And that has to be from your coach, from your captains, from the team around you.
And your teammates,
you're that girl. And she has already, like, double-doubles, historic. I want to read this. 4 double-doubles in her first 5 WNBA games. The last person who did that was Natalie Williams in 1999.
Wow.
Like, that is so great. And I don't know. I'm just, like, so high on Washington. And I don't even know if they might not even make the playoffs because they're going to be in these close games. But to be fun to watch is also a win in my book. So it's been fun.
We also talked about who won the draft. And I think we both said Washington, right? I still believe that even with Georgia Amore not playing. I love Sonia at Notre Dame, and like the two of them have come into this league and have said, we are here. We are here. Don't come for us just because we're rookies, because we are here and we are ready. I love this Washington Mystic squad.
I love them. Mystics, if you're listening, we love you. Keep doing you. It's a fun ride. It is a fun ride. And I think that's when you know you're a good team, because I'm excited to see them go up against the Liberty, like go up against every team that they could face. Like they have a chance. Like, I don't know. I want to see it. And that makes a good team.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that. Because honestly, last year, like when the Mystics were on, I was like,
it was rough. It's rough. I don't
know if I can watch this game.
Yeah.
But I am locked and tuned in for this Washington Mystic squad.
I love it. Well, our wish is our command. They play the Fever tomorrow, so they play them on Wednesday. Caitlin Clark is out for a couple weeks, but still, that would be a great win for them. Then they play the Liberty on Friday, so we'll be able to see them up against some top competition this week. Lucky us. I love it. I love it. Okay, last thing in this first part is Chicago. We got to talk about Chicago. If we're going to be harsh on the Aces, we got to be harsh on Chicago, who have not won a game yet.
Sorry.
This is, I mean, I don't even know what to say. Like, talk about discombobulated. I don't know what's going on in Chicago. And these have not been close games. These have been routes. Like this, they're not even close. They're not in the mix. What is going on? I have this tweet. So Nekias Duncan, who is a great figure in the WNBA space, he breaks it down analytically a lot of the time. And I loved what he said. He tweeted, the offensive hierarchy and usage is off in Chicago. It hasn't been enough aerial usage, period. Haven't really felt Angel's versatility yet, despite her getting more touches, and Camilla's been uneven. And I feel that. I don't feel like they're going through one person yet. I don't feel like they're going through multiple people. I feel like Camilla is posting up and then she doesn't get it, and you can see the frustration because they're not really passing her the ball. It doesn't seem like there is any type of offensive flow, and the score reflects that when they are, when they're losing in all these games. What are your thoughts? We're breathing heavily.
Yeah, because I just need to woosah for a minute. Okay, so my first thought is, as much as we just talked about Sonia Citron for Washington, we should be talking about Sonia Citron with Chicago Sky.
Oh, talk about it.
I'm just saying. That's the first thing. I absolutely love Ariel Atkins. I think she plays really hard. To me, Ariel's always been known as a defender, right? She can score in spurts, but she's always been known as a defender. And to me, with Sonia Citron, you got offense and defense, right? But whatever. The second thing is, I'm wondering when. Let me go look at this and make sure I am correct. So Courtney Vandersloot is averaging 9.7 points a game, and Rebecca Allen, who comes off the bench, is averaging 9.7 points a game. My second question is, when is Rebecca Allen going to be inserted into the starting lineup? I think she is a starter. I think I've always loved her game. I think Rebecca Allen could absolutely help from that standpoint in scoring the ball. She's coming off the bench and she's the leading scorer, tied with Courtney Vandersloot. And when Courtney Vandersloot is your leading scorer,
yeah, that's a red flag. I'm sorry.
No, it is. No disrespect to Courtney, but that's not what she does. Like,
that's not what she was there to do.
No, I love Courtney Vandersloot. She cannot and should not be your leading scorer.
Agreed.
They don't have a single player averaging double figures. Yes, I get it. I understand math. 9.7, you can round it up to 10, right? So that would be double figures. But when I go up and down this roster, you're talking about 5 points, 9 points, 8 points, 5 points. You're not going to win very many games like that.
No.
They don't have enough scoring, in my opinion. And so here's the other thing. If you can't score the ball or put up a lot of points on the scoreboard, that means you better be a hell of a defensive team to stop other teams from obviously scoring more points than you. And I don't see that either. I love supporting the Chicago Sky. But it's a very hard watch right now. I completely agree with you. If I'm Camila Cardoso, when I am working my butt off and posting up on the block and a guard looks at me who can't score the basketball herself, and you look at me and you look me off and you don't give me the ball and I'm wide open on the block, if I'm Camila, I got a problem with that.
Yeah.
Jordan, I know it's just their second season, but with Angel and Camilla, like a nice little high-low game, there's not a lot of bigs in this league that can defend that.
Well, and when we talk about the growth that we feel that they have had since their rookie season, I do think Angel has been in the lab. She has gotten better. Camilla was amazing in China, and she has gotten better. And we're not able to see that because I do think it's a system thing, and they're still trying to figure it out. Courtney Vandersloot acknowledged that. She said, quote, "We didn't expect it all to click right away." But it like you said, it's a hard watch. It doesn't feel like going back to what Becky said, are they still in plan A? Are they on plan C now? I'm not sure. And then I'll say this just to throw it out there. But
throw it, because I'm probably gonna catch it. Throw it.
Please catch it.
Okay.
Kennedy Carter? Kennedy Carter. When you think about the lack of scoring that is happening in Chicago right now, and you had someone who could score the basketball, and then you said, no, we want to lose these games. Essentially, that is what they said. And I and like a lot of people on social media are questioning that decision. And right now Kennedy is looking great. Like, she's playing in Mexico. She's like, I'm not worried about y'all, but you clearly do miss me and need me. So
listen, I saw someone. Oh, I caught it. And I'm about to slam dunk it. First of all, someone on social media posted, you probably saw it, with Kennedy. They were like, Kennedy is signing boobs and kissing boobs. She is not trying to come back to the W.
I didn't see that. I'm like, what is going on in Mexico?
Oh, wait. I saw it. I was like, what? So then I had to go look it up. I was like, oh, okay. I see you. She's like, oh, yeah, you want me to sign that? Let me sign that.
That video was hilarious, by the way.
It was funny. Yes. Okay. I was not going to bring that up, but since you did,
I had to.
But since you did, all I can say is shame. And if Chicago Sky wasn't going to bring her back, I mean, the Aces could use her right now. I'm just saying, any team in the league could use her. But specifically, to your point, you had a hell of a scorer. She could create for herself. She could create for others. She could attack the basket. She was a dog. Like, what Chicago is missing, they're missing a lot right now. But Kennedy Carter was a big part of that. And for whatever reason, y'all decided that she just, I guess, you know how people say we're going in a different direction. Well, you might want to make a U-turn and come back the other way. Listen, Jordan,
there's so much we don't know that was going on. Like, there's stuff we don't know. I totally acknowledge that. But I mean, basketball wise, pick up the phone. Put it aside.
Yeah. Well, pride won't let you do that now.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that. So the other thing I'm going to say about this team, the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it's broke, you need to fix it. So, or broken, excuse me, because somebody will say, she said broke, it's broken. If it's broken, you need to fix it. Anyway, try something different, because what you have done thus far isn't working. If Hailey Van Lith isn't going to do anything else, Hailey Van Lith is going to compete. The pride she has and how hard she plays, like, Hailey is going to compete. She gonna talk a little smack. I'm just saying, try something different. Put Becca Allen in the starting lineup. If you don't do nothing else, do that for me, please. I just want to see Becca in the starting lineup.
At this point. Jeez.
And y'all, you need to get Camila Cardoso the ball when she is posted on the block. And what I need from Camila when she catches the ball on the block, I need her to be strong with the basketball. Don't bring it down where these little guards can come and take the ball away from you. Catch the ball, keep it high, be strong with it, and finish. There's not a lot of players in this league that are bigger than her. She's 6'7", that's going to block her shot when she keeps it up high. And if they do, that's part of basketball. Everybody gets their shots blocked. Yeah. I don't have an answer. I don't know what it is, but something's got to change with this team.
I agree. Chicago, call somebody. I don't know who you need to call. Call somebody. Because right now,
just anybody. Just call anybody.
They have the worst offensive and defensive ratings so far.
That's not good.
No one, like you mentioned, no one is averaging double digits. Angel Reese is averaging double-digit rebounds. We know that is going to be solid and true. Facts. But it needs more. And I think the part that I'm surprised by is that when we looked at the roster after all the free agency moves and we looked at it on paper, I was like, okay, like this could make some noise. And now we're seeing it in play. It is not making a peep because they have not won a game. So that's
no, but Jordan, here's the other thing. When you like players are who they are, right? So when you have a player, i.e., like a Kia Nurse, Kia is at the latter part of her career. Kia Nurse isn't going to come in and average 20 points a game, right? So you're bringing in vets, which I agree. They needed some vets on the squad last year, but you can't bring in vets and expect those vets to be players that they're not. They are who they are.
That's fair. All right, so, Chicago,
get it together.
Get it together. Get it together. Okay, we're gonna step aside real quick. Then when we come back, we're going to talk about some players who have been lighting it up so far. Kelsey Plum, Nneka, we're looking at you. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. Now let's talk about some things that maybe are a little underrated. Like those were the storylines at the beginning of the show that we and everyone can't shut up about. But I don't think people are talking enough about Kelsey Plum and what she is doing with the Los Angeles Sparks. I know I feel like they've won some games, they've lost some games. I think they're kind of in the middle tier right now. But what Kelsey is doing is having one of her best seasons ever. She's averaging 24.8 points per game, 5.6 assists per game, 43% from three. She leads the W in minutes, and she's second in scoring. She scored over 25 points already 3 times this season. It's been fun to watch. She's also having fun with it. She's, she always looks at the camera. She's always smiling at free throw lines, but she looks like she's having fun with it. Sheryl, you are raising your hand. I'm calling
because I need permission to speak, please.
Please.
Kelsey Plum, I apologize.
I was wondering. Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So for those who are wondering why I'm apologizing, I am a big girl. I can apologize. And it wasn't about her game, right? Because I think Kelsey's always been like a scorer. But do you remember our last show or whenever it was? I don't know. I was like, I don't know if LA is a good fit for her or she's a good fit for them. Dang, you proved me wrong. Kelsey Plum, you are a bucket. You are a bucket. You know what I love? Why now I know this works? Because, and I think maybe Kelsey said this, I read this somewhere, she's been like the third, sometimes fourth option on her W squads. And she is the go-to girl on this LA Sparks team. And she is proving and showing why. So Kelsey Plum Dog, KP, whatever. I apologize. Like, You are her. She is getting it done. And I just love, you said it, Jordan. I love how much fun she's having. You can
Oh
see the
yeah.
joy, the happiness. She always has a smile on her face. And yeah, she may be just what the Sparks needed. I
Absolutely.
say maybe because it's still early on in the season, but listen, yeah, I I I like Kelsey Plum with the Sparks.
And it has been fun to see them try to figure it out
Mhm.
because still the Sparks are not at 100%.
Yeah.
Rakia has been out with concussion protocol. We know Cameron Brink is going to come back, but I want to say Azurá Stevens has also been balling out of
Yes.
control. I feel like
Yes.
she has had a huge leap coming from Unrivaled, but them
Mhm.
together combining for over 40 points a night, like on most
Yeah.
nights,
Yeah.
has been great. And Kelsey, we talk about her being maybe the third, fourth option in the W, but this is Kelsey at Washington. Like, this
Yes.
is, I'm
Yes.
dropping 40 pieces and 50 pieces, and I
Mhm.
am the all-time leader scorer of
Mhm.
D1 basketball, Kelsey
Mhm.
Plum.
That's who
And
it
she
is.
has always had that in her bag. We know that. We know how great she is. And not only just how much, when we talked about it last time, the playmaking ability, she can create her own shot, but then the three is water. Like, she's drilling it, coming down unconsciously shooting. And this is Plum Dog from the Washington Huskies. And that is really fun. Maybe because she's in that purple again. This is really fun to see, and she looks like she's having a great time. Now the Sparks,
100%.
they got to stack some wins here, but it's coming, and they have the star that they have been missing, I think, for these past couple seasons.
No doubt. Ain't nothing else I got to say about it, but
I love it. Shout out to you. And again, we'll remind you, she's
mhm.
going up against the Aces. While we are recording this on a Tuesday, can't wait to see what she does there. I don't think there's any animosity. I don't think there's drama. She acknowledges she has love for the Aces. She left in free agency. It was a trade, but it was a free agent. But still, I think she gonna have a little fun going back against her former
Of
team
course she
tonight.
will.
Ooh,
Of
that's gonna be
course
good.
she will. I will be
Another
locked in.
player. Oh yeah, me too.
Mhm.
Another player who has needed to remind all of us that she still has a crown and she is
Mhm.
still that one is
Mhm.
Nneka Ogwumike. And
Mhm.
I don't know how many, I lost count how many records she was breaking in that Storm performance over the Aces, but she shot 70% from the field that night. And that is like, this is her 14th season. She is 34 years old. And Nneka is like, yeah, y'all must have forgot. Like, I am still that one. I have had a blast watching her remind everybody, especially these new fans that maybe aren't
And
familiar.
did. And did.
She is her.
Mm. Mm.
Having a
Listen, I
great start
don't
to the season.
I don't know if it's something in her Nigerian blood. Not really sure what it is, but Nneka Ogwumike is playing like this is her third or fourth season. She looks good. She's in
Mm-hmm.
shape. She getting buckets. She's leading the Storm in scoring. Like she's averaging a double double, 20
Yeah.
points, 10 boards. I can't say enough about what Nneka is doing for this squad. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we I know we don't talk about Nneka enough, but I'm not sure if we're talking about the Seattle Storm enough,
True.
led by Nneka. What I love about her is that she just goes out and she just does her job and then some. She does it quietly. She doesn't complain. She's like, "Oh, y'all want to talk about me? Well, I'm just gonna go to work. Y'all gonna talk about me in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's good to see. I can't believe that you said she's 34.
34.
She looks
Yeah.
like she's 24. But
She does.
she does. She looks really good. I am so I'm just happy for her. And I I think this Seattle Storm squad could make some noise this season.
Oh,
Cause I
yeah.
also feel like, I know we're not talking about her, but I feel like Skylar Diggins is on she's on a tear this season also. I like this
Yes.
squad. Hmm.
Yes. She already had a 20 piece to start this past week as well. And you apologize to Kelsey Plum and the Sparks. I need to apologize to the Seattle Storm because that first game, I was so out on Seattle. Like, they played awful. And I was like, "Ugh, y'all lost to the Mercury? What? Maybe this ain't gonna work. Maybe it wasn't like, I spiraled. So I apologize because these last few games, they're looking incredible. And I know you love this, Sheryl. It's the defense. The defense,
Absolutely.
they went on a 16-0 fast break points against those aces. And you have a Gabby Williams, you have an Ezzy Magmagor, you have a Nneka, you have a Skylar. Like, this is so defensive minded, and it is creating their offense, but they are cutting backdoor 3-5 passes, like 32 assists they had against Vegas, 60% from the field. They are clicking. And I think they needed to get that first game just out of their system. They didn't have a ton of preseason games either, but now they're rolling. They are rolling, and led by someone like Nneka. It's been cool.
No doubt about it. One player I do want to bring up, speaking of defense, we talked about who we thought won the draft, but can I tell you who I think won free agency?
Yeah.
The New York Liberty with Natasha Cloud. Jordan, first of all, she's leading them in scoring. And that's not even Tosh. She can score, but that's not even her focus. Tosh is that true point guard that's like, I'm going to get everybody else involved and give me the scraps, right? But she is going to defend whomever till the end, averaging 18.7 points, 5.7 rebounds, 7.7 assists. Tosh Cloud is that dog that New York has been missing. Yep, they won a chip last year. But with Tosh Cloud on this squad, the New York Liberty, they just may repeat. I knew when they got her what she was going to bring, and she hasn't disappointed. Tosh Cloud, girl, you know how much I love you, but this is a different Tosh. Tosh is like, oh, yeah, I'm out of Phoenix. I'm with the Liberty. I'm with the champs. Let's go. I love this move by the Liberty.
Love it. And it is already paid off. When it is that Indiana Fever and Liberty game was incredible. It was a back-to-back. It was a dog fight. Great game. Liberty were up by double digits. Then the Fever came back. They were up by double digits. And the Liberty came back. Then it comes down to a final possession. And that is why you say they won free agency. Because previous years, that perimeter defense, question mark. It was a question mark. Now, and Tosh talked about it after the game. I know this is why I was brought here. She was able to go on Caitlin Clark. And she said it. She said, I knew she was going left. She poked the ball. It was not a foul. It was clean defense. And that was something that was a moment where I know Liberty fans were like, thank God. We were sent a defensive savior to come and help this team. But she was able to help in so many other ways, like you said, with scoring and everything. So Tosh, I gave her her flowers last week, but we're going to keep doing it because this is an all-star campaign that she is building for herself. And it's been So great to see. And the defense, you get the stamp of approval from Sheryl Swoopes, Tosh, which is a big stamp.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. Okay, we're going to take another break. We're going to pay some bills. But when we come back, we're going to talk quick rookies, and then it's time for Hoop Roots. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. Let's check in on some rookies. I feel like I said this. I don't know. Sheryl, I'm doing a lot. I'm like, did I say it on this show or another show?
Because you're busy.
Video that I did.
You're busy.
But I think I predicted that this Rookie of the Year race is going to be unique this year. I feel like there's going to be a lot of different names that we're going to be swirling in, especially at the beginning. But let's just check in with some of the names real quick. Paige, Bueckers, number one pick out of Dallas. Dallas, they're on the struggle bus a little bit right now. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to figure it out. But she's over her first 4 games. She's averaging 13 points, over 6 assists, 4.5 rebounds. So not too bad. I feel like she has been really solid. It's just the team is not doing so hot. But how would you kind of rate or grade Paige on how she's doing so far?
You're talking about A, B, C, D, F?
I guess, yeah. We can give a grade.
No, I think this Dallas Wings team, I think we could say this for every team, right? I think they're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But I think what I've seen from Paige early on is like, I also think Paige is kind of like holding back, trying to let her vets, do their thing. But Paige is being that player that she always is as a point guard, looking to get everybody else involved. I personally would love to see Paige be a little bit more aggressive, right? Because she has that ability. So if I'm giving her a grade, I'm gonna give her right now. I'm gonna give her a B. And I'm only giving her a B because there's room for improvement.
Yes. I love what you said about holding back. Sometimes it feels like, and Gino Auriemma talked about this, like shoot the ball, be unconscious, go call your number. And when she did do that at UConn, we got to see that. But I can totally see her just being like, okay, I'm a rookie. I have Arike Ogunbowale on my team. I have Dejanay Carrington. I have all these other weapons kind of around me. Let me utilize those first and foremost. So, but she's getting more confident as she moves ahead. And Wednesday, she's going to be at Connecticut, have this homecoming, going back to UConn stomping ground. So think that familiarity will be fun. I love how this little stat here, 15-0 during her UConn career at the Mohegan Sun Arena. So she feels confident. One of those teams is going to get their first win tonight or the next night. Both Connecticut and Dallas are 0-4. So that'll be something to celebrate. The other rookies we talked a lot about: Sonia Citron, Kiki Iriafen at Washington. Efficient. To me, they have A's right now. They are doing super well. Unfortunately, only one Rookie of the Year can get the award, but it is a very, very big chance that it could come out of Washington. Anything else to add on those rookies?
No. You're giving them an A. I'll give him an A. Yeah, me too. No, seriously. We talked a lot about them, so yeah. I'm a fan. Yeah. I'm a fan.
I love it.
It's gonna be fun.
Sarah Ashley Barker and Tahina Paopao are 2 rookies that I think are surprising that they are starting for their teams.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those, situations are different. But Pow with Jordan Canada going down, Pow took a spot. Haley Jones was that backup point guard. Pow came in and snatched a spot, then moved her way to the starting lineup and fit so well in a Carl Smesko 3-ball heavy offense. And we always talk about how it doesn't matter where you were drafted, but it matters where you go and the fit, not when you were drafted. And Pow fits perfectly in this system. And I feel like Sarah Ashley Barker with a Lynn Roberts was a good match there as well. Because she's going to play hard. And she's going to try to score, but she is going to give you 1,000% every time she steps on the floor.
Sarah's going to be a really good pro. I love her body type, her size, her position. To your point, there are some things you can't teach, and that is just hard work, effort, attitude, all those things. I feel like Sarah brings that every single time she steps out on the floor. And to your point, Jordan, I think we're probably all surprised, not by their talent, but for Sarah and for Pow to both be in the starting lineup. I don't think any of us saw that coming. No. And I love both of these rookies. To your point, I think Pow is doing a phenomenal job for Atlanta right now running the show. Hate to see Jordan go down because I think they're a completely different team when Jordan's in the game, but it's about opportunity, right? She goes down, Pow says, all right, I'm ready. And she's ready. She's playing really well when she gets the minutes. Sarah's playing really well. I don't know. Obviously, we didn't talk about this rookie class as much as we talked about last year's rookie class, but this is a very impressive rookie class as well.
It is. And this kind of goes into the segment that this is our first time doing this segment with you, Sheryl. But it's time for Hoop Roots. WNBA history. Someone has done. And what I love about Hoop Roots, and this one specifically, is because it kind of talks about the Rookie of the Year race and how it has looked differently in the past. So when the WNBA started, for the first 2 years, it gave out 2 separate awards, Rookie of the Year and Newcomer of the Year. And the difference was that, the rookies were drafted from college teams and the newcomers could be 30 plus. They could be older and more veteran players who decided to come back and play in this new women's pro league. So in 1998, the Rookie of the Year was Tracy Reed. She was the 7th overall pick out of North Carolina.
Can I say, for those who don't know?
Yes, please.
Tracy Reed was a problem. And she was always my matchup. I always knew going to play Phoenix. Okay. Well, when I remember Phoenix, right, having to no, excuse me, not Phoenix. I remember
Charlotte.
Reed. Was it Charlotte? Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
just
having to mentally prepare myself, because there are some players you know what they're going to do, but even though you know what they're going to do, it's very tough to defend, right? And Tracy, she had the speed, the quickness, could get to the hole. Tracy was a competitor. And I am so glad you're doing this, the Hoop Roots, and bringing up players, because a lot of people, not just the new fans, but a lot of people don't remember some of the OGs. Yeah. And Tracy Reed was a problem.
She was a problem. And still, she was kind of what we're talking about with this draft class. She was a 7th overall pick. So that was Tisha's draft out of Old Dominion, Allison Feaster coming out of Harvard. Wow. These were players that were drafted above her, but Reed was able to get the crown of Rookie of the Year. But then, in addition to the Rookie of the Year award, the WNBA gave out the Newcomer of the Year award. So in 1998, it was Susie McConnell-Serio, who now I just posted a video on my socials about the McConnell family and how that's TJ McConnell's aunt, who's an NBA player on the Indiana Pacers. But they have some hoopers. But what is so cool about this is she won, as you know, 2 Olympic medals, gold in 1988 and bronze in 92. And after that, there was no pro option. So she got married. She had 4 kids. 4. She hadn't touched a ball in 5 years before going to the Cleveland Rockers tryout. Not only did the point guard make the team, but she started in all 28 games that she played. She averaged over 6.5 assists per game, and she was 31 years old. So to be able to be honored for that incredible comeback, she wasn't a rookie. She was already a pro.
Yeah.
She had already won a gold medal. So there was a different award for that, and it was this newcomer of the year. And the same thing in 99, the rookie of the year, Shamika Holsclaw out of Tennessee, number 1 pick. Of course, she was going to be rookie of the year. But then the newcomer of the year was Yolanda Griffith, who maybe this is probably why that doesn't exist anymore, because Yo won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Newcomer of the Year, because she was that girl, and she was 28, coming from the ABL back then. So they were probably like, all right, maybe we can't do this anymore. And in 2000, they changed the Newcomer of the Year to Most Improved Player of the Year. But I think that there should still be a Newcomer of the Year.
Agreed.
Because we're talking about the rookies, right? But then you have players like last year, Julie Von Loo. She was 31.
Yep.
Totally could have won a Newcomer of the Year with Washington. Had an incredible season, but she wasn't going to be compared to Caitlin or Angel. You know, like that's a different category, it feels like. Even this year, Catherine Westbeld, she's 29, a rookie. Makani on Phoenix, she's 24, but she's not really fitting in that rookie category. So that was Hoop Roots to kind of go back in time to see we could learn from adding a Newcomer of the Year award again.
Yes, I would love to see Newcomer of the Year award come back. Absolutely.
There we go.
WNBA history. Someone has done.
Okay, before we go, we have one last segment that we are both very familiar with, but this is Sending Flowers, sponsored by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly, just way more personalized than other apps out there. So, Sheryl, this week, who would you like to send your flowers to? If you need some time to think, I can go first. Or what you got?
Okay.
It's hard. There's a lot of flowers to give.
I have 2, so I couldn't decide between them. So I'm going to give a dozen roses. So I'm going to give 6, half a dozen to one person, half a dozen to the other. Okay.
Love it.
The first person that I'm going to give flowers to is Aaliyah Boston. And the reason why I want to give Aaliyah her flowers, first of all, because she deserves them. Aaliyah Boston right now is averaging 18 points a game, 11 rebounds a game, averaging a double-double. I think she is playing extremely well. And for me, I go back to last season when she started. She didn't start the season off very well, had so much negativity around her. For her to be able to come back and bounce back and play the way she's playing, honestly, putting up MVP type numbers. I want to give her flowers. I think she's playing very well for Indiana, and I think she will be a big part of how successful Indiana can be this season. The second person I'm going to give the other half dozen to is my girl, my sister, my homegirl, Dawn Staley. I just, Dawn continues to raise the bar, to set the bar. She keeps doing amazing things in the community and giving back. And with her latest book, Uncommon Favor, I saw her whole little book tour and all the things she does. I could sit and listen to Dawn speak all day long because she's always dropping good gems and good nuggets. And I just super proud of what she continues to do for the game, but in particular for little Black girls out there who can look up to her and say that, she shows them that you too can be great in whatever it is that you choose to do. So got to give some flowers to my sis Dawn Staley.
Oh, wow. Great flowers. And especially a book tour flowers, a bouquet, because she's everywhere. And I love when Dawn Staley is all over my feed. She's on the Breakfast Club. She's everywhere.
You're everywhere.
Great. I love that for her. Love that for her.
Who you got?
My flowers that I am sending flowers to is Sonia Rivers, who is the rookie for the Connecticut Sun, because
I like that.
This is an impossible situation. If you aren't familiar, Sonia Rivers lost her mom just weeks after she was at the WNBA draft with her to congestive heart failure. And Sonia was away from the team for a little bit, but then she came back and played great. Like, she was able to honor her mom in that way. And I just can't imagine what she is going through, and the mental toll, and the juxtaposition of being so excited that you are a rookie and you're living out your dream, but then not having your mom right there to watch you. And so I want to give her a huge bouquet for showing up and still just being able to honor and talk about your mom and her mom in the best possible way. But I'm sending her so much love to our entire family, and wanted to send her some flowers as well.
Oh, that's a great one. It's just amazing how life works. I was thinking about the same thing, and I was like, but for her mom to be able to share that moment with her at the draft. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about it because I will cry.
Don't cry. We went through a whole episode. We're not crying.
I know. But the reason why, because and I'll make this real short. The last trip my mom took with me was when I got inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. That was our last moment together. So it was a full circle moment for me, right? My mom was there my entire career, and now she's there at the biggest moment, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. And for Sonia Rivers, her dream was to always play in the WNBA. And so for your mom to be by her side, sitting there with her at the draft, is a special moment. And it's something that she will be able to hold on to for the rest of her life. So absolutely great flowers. And Sonia, we're sending you big hugs and prayers for you and your family.
Absolutely. So well said. So well said. Well, that was Sending Flowers, sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code to get free money. Use our code Hoopers, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right in your account. Thank you, Cash App. And thank you, Sheryl. Thank you for hanging out. It's always fun. We went through a lot. We talked about a lot.
It's always real.
But there was a lot to talk about. Always so fun. You're the best, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's women'shoops@odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Sheryl Swoops. Our producer is Phil Sweetek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkeiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.